As anyone who watches any of my War Thunder live streams knows, I'm pretty average War Thunder pilot. Definitely not anywhere near the best. And it's been a little while since I played at top tier as well. A couple of years ago, grinding out to 9.0. But one of my viewers kindly gifted me a MiG-17AS recently, and I've been using it to grind to the MiG-21 BIS and the other top tier Soviet jets. And it's really easy. I cannot believe I'm saying that because I struggled a bit with the MiG-15. The guns are difficult to aim. A lot of compression back in the day, and still with the MiG-15 BIS, but the MiG-17 is a little bit easier to fly, better flight model, and the teams are just so much. They're so easy to fly at this PR because the American teams are such disasters. Starting out this match, this is on Sicily here. This Oregon is just not paying very much attention. I kind of side climbed to the side here. Locked up. The R3S isn't a great missile, it's just a straight copy of the AIM-9B. As a matter of fact, it was made after the Soviets bought a Chinese version of it, which was trapped in the tail of a MiG-17 that the Taiwanese Air Force had shot at the PRC Air Force, and the missile didn't explode, was brought back, and those Soviets made an exact copy of it. So if you wonder why it looks just like an AIM-9B, that's exactly why. But that Oregon wasn't paying any attention, it got blasted out of the sky. The second Oregon here, you can see the one thing with the MiGs, it doesn't have a great roll rate. I'm still going quite fast here, well over 1,000 kilometers an hour. Just absolutely no reason for me to try to roll under. I'm either going to destroy any of my energy advantage, or I'm going to get straight into the ground. So I'm just going to extend, checking your 6 always is jet games. Make sure you're not getting missiled here. There's a Vautour over here. Maybe I can clean up the Vautour. Allied teams absolutely love to ground pound. There's always 4 to 6 ground pounders. Later in the game, after they drop their bombs, are pretty dangerous, just because it's an additional plane. They have guns, they go fast, cause issues. This Vautour can just, I don't know, put and turn. Go straight into the ground. I'm keeping my energy here. You notice I've been above 1,000 kilometers an hour basically the entire time. Extend back up. So the advantage here, you have the MiGs, massive climb rate, and American teams are always down on the ground anyways, so you get to have altitude advantage almost constantly. This makes what makes these teams so easy to fly. I think MiG-17AS, I have something around 70% win rate right now. Again, I'm not a phenomenal War Thunder player by any stretch of the imagination. It's just you're on these strong teams, you can clean up anything that's below you, and very likely, even almost without your contribution, your team is going to win. So it makes grinding super easy. You're basically just picking off targets one by one as you want to shoot them, killing them, and then moving on to the next one. So here I am, I'm staying high again, a couple of thousand meters. I'm going to go close back to 1,000 kilometers an hour again. There's an F-86F. These two F-86Fs are both trying to pitch up for this MiG-17. They're never going to catch them. MiG-17 just superior climb rate, probably has superior energy. This F-86 is just completely stalled out. I find the guns a bit tricky to aim because they're mounted below the fuselage. So actually rolling over and shooting upside down sometimes is a little bit easier if you're not used to using the guns. In that case, I thought he was going to roll, but he just had absolutely no energy at all. He was completely stalled out and got blasted. And that's 2 kills. And I don't think I've done anything exceptional in this game so far. Not really been challenged. Was able to get an altitude advantage and missile the Oregon, and this F-86 that was stalled out completely. Blasted him. And again, still altitude advantage on 3,000 plus meters now. I have all the speed, all the altitude, all the energy. I still have an air-to-air missile left. And now the next thing to do is just pick the next one of these targets that I want to jump on. Down below there's a couple of Sabres. They're all on the deck. They're probably low on energy. They're low on munitions. They've been scrapping around on the deck. And this other MiG-17 that's playing with me, this is just a randomly assigned squadron mate. It's not somebody that I'm coordinating with, but he's doing the same thing. He's staying high. He's dragging him up. This F-86 is also stalled out, and honestly, I just missed the shot there. I had turned too tight, kind of blacked my pilot out, lost track of where he was. Again, not the best War Thunder pilot. Please keep that in mind when you're watching this. But it doesn't matter, right? I still have, again, massive energy advantage. I've got horizontal spiral, nothing to bleed too much energy. I'm just trying to keep it nice and easy. And we're just going to come back down and make another pass. Like I have, again, all the energy in the world. I've got another MiG-17 with me staying up high. These guys are down low. They can't pitch up. If any of them comes up for me, the other MiG-17 is going to kill them. And everyone who plays Allied planes knows this feeling. You're trapped on the deck, and there's a couple of MiGs above you, and they just keep you pinned down, and eventually you die. And that's the struggle with the Allied teams right now. So I'm looked off. I wanted the F-86 to think I was chasing the one on the right, which I actually am, but I threw the missile into the one that was on the left there. The two of them, he never saw it coming. I don't know if he didn't check a 6. If you're not checking quickly right when you're about a kilometer away, you can miss the missile launch, and then it's burnt out and you don't actually see the icon for it. And in this case, he just never saw it coming, blasted him. So that's 3 kills. MiG-17 with me, takes down another F-86, and we're just cleaning up at this point. Again, I haven't, let's say, even been in a dogfight at this point, right? This is just sort of almost like, it's not fighting AI, but we have such an advantage, such an advantageous position, such an energy advantage. It's just been a really straightforward game. Like the same thing, extending vertically, up to a couple of thousand meters again. No chance of anybody getting me up here. Using a spiral climb, just to make sure that I'm not stalling myself out. Just continuing on, and there's 2 F-86s that are still below us here. A little more horizontal maneuvering here, just trying to pick out which one is going to be the easier target. It's going to be this F-86A down here. So, dive back down. And I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back at the replay here, this F-86 was really in kind of hurting shape. I think maybe he had been hit before. Just come through, clipped him, and I actually don't know why that didn't kill him. Must have hit him with one of the 23s. Normally the guns on the MiG-17s have the big 37mm in the nose. But it turned out he was already damaged anyway, so it's probably fair that the guy who hit him first got the assist and that it wasn't me that got the kill there. Switch back up. This is where I kind of turned too hard, blocked out, but I wanted to cut inside the turn of this F-86. I roughly know where he's going to pop up. I'm just waiting for him. He is almost, again, completely stalled out. Easy shot. And that's 4 kills and a kill assist. That's it. That's the game. And this is really like grinding with MiG-17s. Now this game, my aim was on point. I didn't miss any blatant obviously shots. Reward-wise, I mean, you're going to get massive amounts of rewards. It's really quick to grind up the MiG line because you're getting the win bonus for each of these games too. So you're on the winning team, which makes it easier for you. You get to fight 1v1s or 2v1s or 3v1s. There's no, it's not like the opposite on the allied teams. Half your team is ground attackers. They're dead and you're in your saber fighting MiGs 4v1, and every kill feels like you had to work so hard for it. Something like this, I mean, you guys watched it. It didn't look like I worked hard for anything at all here. But you get massive rewards for it. It makes grinding it super easy. And I think that's the that's the big advantage of flying any of the MiGs right now for grinding. You can check out the rewards here. That was a good game. I have a second game here. The second game is a better example because this is probably more of my absolute average pilot skill. In other words, terrible. Probably do everything that you can do wrong here. There's a couple of Thurs on the deck, normal at this BR. Figure maybe I'll cut over, clean one of them up again, but the first Thur flies into the ground, and the second Thur's life expectancy is, well, not very long. It gets blasted out of the sky. So this is the 9.3 matchmaker, I believe. So everything's a little bit higher than you. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter because you're going to get hard carried because the higher the BR that you get in this plane, actually the more the American teams ground pound. It's all A4s, it's all Thurs, it's all Harriers, and the teams get segmented. And look at this, the enemy team is already down like half their planes. The ground attackers all die. The fighters haven't even made it off the base and climbed yet. And so you basically get to kill half the team, and then you get to kill the other half of the team. So you have a 2v1 advantage virtually the entire duration of the match, which makes it super easy. So this time, it's a little bit higher BR, so I didn't climb as much just because the match initiated faster. But I'm on the deck. I still have quite a bit of energy because I have a fair bit of speed. I'm trying to pick out one of these targets here. This is G91. That G91 is climbing. He's slow. I want to make sure I don't stall myself out chasing him and don't get a missile on my rear end. A second G91, and G91's the slowest plane in this matchmaking. So, as anyone who's played the G91 a fair bit can attest to you, it can be pretty miserable when everybody else is 150 kilometers an hour faster than you. This G91 is having to maneuver to dodge missiles because he's got 2 planes on him. As he continues to maneuver, he's losing more speed. Again, don't look at the aim in this video, it's not great. I actually air brake him here, it blows his wing off. And the reason why I'm willing to air brake early on in a game in a vertical maneuver is because there's nothing that's going to kill me. My team has twice as many planes in the area. Everybody is tied up with somebody from my team attacking them, missiling them, chasing them, and so you're able to pull off just unbelievably risky maneuvers that you wouldn't do. If I had done that in, say, a Saber, there would have been 3 MiGs on me, and I would have gotten just completely blown up by virtue of being willing to air brake and slow myself down at a vertical climb. Looking behind me just to make sure I don't get missiled. That's the big risk here at this tier, that G91's far enough back and I'm carrying enough energy that I'm out of range of his AIM-9Bs. It is important to keep in mind which who the dangerous planes in the matchmaker in terms of missiles are. Dodge the head-on from the G91. There's no reason to ever take head-ons in the MiGs. Your cannons are slow, and you're just not particularly good in the head-ons. Taking on like the high-velocity G91 50 cals or whatever. And you can see here, like, this is terrible. There's absolutely no reason for me to black out here. Just completely overpulled, being super aggressive. I'm being greedy to try to get kills here because I want points. I want to actually get kills. And everybody on the enemy team is dying so quickly that there's no chance for me to get kills if I'm not super aggressive. I should have cut that from the video. But again, I wanted to show this is pretty accurate representation of your average jet player attempting to grind, right? I mean, this is poor aim, not very good maneuvering. This is the opposite of a deafened video, if you know what I mean. But it doesn't matter. Like the matchmaking of this BR is so broken because of the American teams having so many strike aircraft and the Soviet, German teams, Chinese teams not. This Swift isn't paying a lot of attention. I'm just gonna throw the R3S in there and it just misses, but he never broke. If you notice, like, it doesn't look like he was paying any attention. I'm just gonna keep that in mind. G91 again. He's so slow. Look at this. This is goodness gracious. This should have been a 4-kill game. Rewatching the replay is a bit painful, but that Swift never actually broke for the first missile. I'm closer. This time he's well within range of the R3S, and he never checked his 6 or broke again. So don't know if he was just running back to base. Not quite sure what was happening there. And again, another just unbelievably harsh maneuver that was unnecessary here. Trying to be aggressive, trying to get kills, but there's nothing left to kill. There's this G91, and he can be tricky to hit. Like, I mean, he can turn really hard on the deck and at low speed. G91 can be a little bit of a pain, especially to bring these slow firing, 37 to 23s. The MiG cannons are not the easiest to aim on low speed targets that are maneuvering heavily. You can see I had to pull off here. He caught underneath my dive. If I was better, I probably could have just dropped some speed here, used the MiG-17's acceleration, and gotten on him, especially because I have another MiG-17 with me who's continuing to drive him low as well. Dodged the missile. By extending up vertically, I actually gave him a chance to get that shot, which was completely unnecessary. There's no reason for me to even present a chance where he could have had a shot at me. But you can see this, it's just over-maneuvering. This is the last guy trying to, I don't know what you want to, everybody's jumping on him, you want to make sure you're the one that gets the kill. The other MiG-17AS shoots him down. And this is basically been a cleanup operation from the very beginning of this game. They were down 4 or 5 planes within the first 30 seconds of combat being started because it was all strike planes that either crashed in the ground or got shot down. You have a 2v1 advantage. And these Soviet teams are so good at this BR right now. So anywhere between 8.3 and 9.7, it feels like the win rate is 65 to 80% for the Soviet teams. Every once in a while, the Allied team of strike aircraft will all be missile-armed AV-8, Harriers or something like that, and they kill off 3-4 of your fighters that are aggressive early on, and then the team rolls up and wins. But other than that, this has got to be the easiest grind that there is to do at War Thunder at the moment, which is to grind through the victory. You just win every game, and because your team is winning, you get more kills, you die less, so you grind more Silver Lions, you grind more RP. That F-100 got shot down before I could get to him. And that's the game. And this was really potato flying. I actually kind of picked this one because it was poor flying. I mean, this isn't good maneuvering. This wasn't good shooting. This was pretty poor, tactical approach to the battle. But it's still 2 kills. I picked up a ground target here at the end. You got to get that bonus RP right before the hostile vehicle timer winds out. It's just so easy. So easy. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't think I've ever had a grind in War Thunder that was as straightforward as this grind has been. Maybe things will change with the battle rating change. Moving a few things up to 11.0, which means everything's gonna move up with it. But here you go. This is an absolute ton of rewards for very, very little effort. Thank you guys for watching. I stream Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the afternoon European time. Check one of those out. It's War Thunder, World of Warships generally. Also, if you can leave a like for this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.